Okay, assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Handayani and this is the video revision. Okay, I would like to deliver my presentation about exploring English as an international language and its implication for teaching English in Hotel Vocational High School, Kasatrian Kasunanan Palace. Sepakat ya. Here the introduction. Learning English in secondary school is very effective since English has become the common language for international communication in almost all fields, and the world is experiencing a tremendous spread of the language around the globe. Here, because of English as an international communication in almost fields, of course the hotel fields, and this is the study done in vocational school Kasatrian Kasunanan Palace here have some subject creating a kind of student skill, beside an English, math, science, and then Indonesian language, etc. And this is have a special subject, such as food and beverage department, and then laundry, and then linen subject, and then entrepreneur subject and housekeeping subject, like this. The special or the specific part in hotel deliver here, and the problem statement of this paper is: number one, what is the definition of EIL? What is the definition? And number two is, what does the implementation of teaching English as an international language in Hotel School Kasatrian Kasunanan Palace? And previous study, number one, comes from Sandra Lee Mackey on her journal about English as an international language, what it is and means on pedagogy. And a great deal has been written about what English as a word language or EIL, and actually is example Alakov et al., Matsuda, McKay and Brown, and then Sharifian. And here, starting from a review of EIL, because the many sorts of English that are spoken today to the use of English by second language speakers of English. And here Sandra explained about teaching English in the classroom. Here there are some point about teaching English and in the classroom from Sandra. Number two come from Kim Huatan and Fran 2018 about the implication of English as an international language for language pedagogy. The study showed that EIL as a means of intercultural communication in a wide range of contexts calls for a reconceptualization of language pedagogy. And then exploring English as an international language by Jiangsu in 2018. In addition, this text reviews and examines an EIL unit titled Exploring English as a Word Language in terms of its curriculum, then materials, and pedagogical strategies. And number four come from Abdullah Koskun 2011, spoken about English teachers' attitude toward EIL pronunciation. The study analyzed future English teachers' attitude toward teaching pronunciation within an EIL perspective. Here, the most important of teacher attitude here is about the skill, whether the a good attitude, good media, but there is no skill in teacher themselves, so it will difficult to deliver EIL to the student. And then division in technical and vocational education and training lecturer and implication in the development of work-related skills explained by Andre van de Bijl 2019. This article reports the deficiencies in qualification and experience of lecturer at DVED or Technical and Vocational Education and Training Colleges in South Africa, and the implication of the identified deficiencies. Next, Vocational Education and Training Programs, VET, an Asian Perspective by Tushar Agrawal 2013, makes an attempt to provide a review on challenges, outcomes, and present situation in vocational education and training or VET program in some Asian countries. the last review study done by Sufi Indah 2018 about tourism vocational high school student and teachers' perception of foreign language in communicative competencies and therefore the 21st century skills in Yogyakarta. Here, the student and teacher perception was very important, yeah, foreign language, because of actually in Yogyakarta was so many visitors or so many tourists visit there, so it can build a good communication among them, yeah. And then based on the review above, exploring English as an international language and its implication for teaching in tourism vocational high school. Here not tourism, yeah, sorry, here is hotel vocational high school, can be reduced by the writer that for tourist hotel vocational school program. English was very important to learn to face globalization of language as a communication. And in this paper, the writer want to describe about the definition of EIL and to identify the implementation of EIL for hotel students. And the research method here, the researcher used a descriptive qualitative, and the most important in qualitative research technique are the narrative and the visual research, which is still often neglected, yeah. Sugiono 2014 states that qualitative method is a research method which is used to observe natural object situation. The object of this research is student and English teacher in vocational high school Kasatrian Kasunanan Palace of Surakarta. Here especially for 8th graders, yeah, because of 8th graders here turn intern in hotel for around 3 months, yeah. So I think that they have a lot of experience of service class at the hotel, yeah. And then the data collection technique along with the research instrument used in this research are interview, yeah, and definition of English as an international language. Here, according to Jenkins 2006 points out, attention to the term English as a world language or EIL is comparatively new the TESOL profession. She notes that within the 1991 anniversary of the TESOL quarterly, almost no attention was given to the thought of world Englishes, and at the point the term English as a lingua franca wasn't yet even coined. And the other definition of EIL, here a new paradigm of how English is positioned or perhaps position itself. In the current era, in discussing the paradigm of EIL, one must always keep in mind that the paradigm doesn't refer to any specific English variety. Rather, it addresses how English is used in intercultural communication across the globe. This is from Sharifian 2009, yeah. And according to Kahru, there are 3 circles of English spread, namely inner, outer, and expanding circle countries. The spread of English is no longer a simple result of migration or colonization, rather it involves multiple reasons, backgrounds, and issues. In Indonesian context, McKay has put Indonesian as unique in how they make use of English, such as we have like Japanese English, Japaling, and then Medan English, and then Sunda English, like that, yeah, Japanese English, that the like medok, yeah, like oh, I would like to buy food in Pak Haji. This is for example of Japanese English, like that, yeah. And it is appropriateness and negotiation in the use and function of English among other languages, both national and local ones, that it's required. Ideally, the goal should be realization of a contemporary global linguistic ecology. Philipson and Skunap Kangnas 1991. Okay, I think here is the definition, and now we are talk about the EIL communication must be passed on a set of specific principles. Some of the major principles are follows. Given the varieties of English spoken, the widely accepted belief that an English-only classroom is the most productive for language learning, and attention to the development of strategic intercultural competence should exist in all EIL classrooms. And number 4 is EIL is not linked to a particular social or cultural context in the same way that French, Korean, or Japanese are intricately associated with a particular culture. And then McKay 2011 maintains that all EIL curricula should give attention to the following components of language use. Number 1, explicit attention should be given to introducing and practicing repair strategies such as asking for clarification and repetition, repressing, and allowing wait time. Number 2, a variety of conversational gambits or routines should be introduced and practice include such items as expressing disagreement and disagreement, agreement and disagreement, managing turn-taking and turn-taking leave. And then the curricula should seek to promote student understanding of how pragmatic norms and differ cross-culturally, and students should be free to express and explain their own pragmatic norms, but to recognize that to the extent they differ from the norms expected by the listener, there may be cross-cultural misunderstanding. Okay, here in general, English has become global and in its status either by being made an official language in outer circle countries or being prioritized in expanding circle ones. The situation has also driven EIL speakers to not conform to any inner cycle Englishes, because English is mostly treated and viewed as a tool for communication. I think that is in general about the English as an international language. Yeah. Okay. We are going to talk about the implementation of teaching EIL in Hotel Vocational High School, Kasatrian Kasunanan Philips. Yeah. Teaching EIL for children was difficult as a teacher. Yeah, we have to use some strategies, some interest media, etc. To resolve problem of student study. Yeah. Because of student here preparing by teacher to meet the foreigners in the hotel, because of they are in a hotel program, so the student and program at the school prepare for them to face the globalization, especially about the English as an international language here. Yeah. There were so many kind of cast in the hotel that use variety of language and use English as an international language. And locally coined words and expression reward speakers' creative capacity, as in the following example: spacious in Indian English, I mean, and then chutney, small pass in Philippine English, and then install, to install a ship in Canadian English, and basket woman, coarsely behaved woman in Lankan English. So this is the characteristic of each country. Yeah? And another category of lexical variation includes the words that Englishes have borrowed from indigenous language, chai, tea, and in East African English, crow, 10 million, and Indian English, I mean, and kundiman, or mean love song in Philippine language. And here the example of the implementation of EIL in teaching hotel school. For example, here to solve or to resolve the complaint for the hotel, for the cast in the hotel, yeah, such as there is student and intern in the reservation department asks, there are guests want to book a room for 3 days. I mean here, and in a suite room. So the cashier want to stay at the suite room, but the suite room is officially occupied. Occupied here is the status for the room that there is guest here, there is guest stay here. So a suite room here is not available. Yeah. So as an intern, student have to explain about the other room. The vacant clean status. Vacant clean here. The room clean and ready to use for the cast. Yeah. This is the term code of the room status in the hotel. Yeah. Then he explained there is a double room with the status is vacant clean and the guest accepted. So this is the most important rule of English as international language here used by intern or student hotel when they become an intern at a hotel, because of here as an we can explain, or we should explain correctly, and we should explain deeply about the what happened, and the suggestion the we give forecast to the best solution in a stay hotel. Yeah. So we have to use some some solution like that. Oh, there is no room in here in this suite room, but we have another room. So as a reservation tax here, they have to over another room to cast. Yeah. So the cast is keep stay in our hotel like that. And okay, the other example like this. For Japanese foreigners, yeah, tourists from Japanese, they cannot speak out correctly. Yeah, they cannot speak out correctly. And then when the breakfast and okay, in SMK Kasatrian or Vocational High School Kasatrian, there are food and beverage subject. Yeah, and here to introduce student about the what is the menu of breakfast, lunch, dinner in the hotel. Yeah, because the hotel, 5-star hotel, actually has international menu. Yeah, such as and egg. Everything about egg is unavailable on breakfast. It can be available in lunch with a specific menu, or the guests want to especially order it, but actually for egg itself, the just only on breakfast. Yeah, for the general. And the tourist from Japan said, okay, in turn, I want to order boiled egg. He said boiled, BOIRED. What is the boiled egg here? But because of the student or intern here know about the culture of Japanese, so about the culture of Japanese and about the Japanese said in L like R here, and the student understand, or the intern here understand. Oh, okay, I think this is a boiled egg. Okay, wait a minute, sir. I will serve for you now. Like that. This is the more important of English and international language here. Yeah. Okay, like that. And then based on the explanation above, the implementation of teaching EIL for hotel students is they're ready to face some problem in communication with the guests when they are becoming intern or employee in the hotel. They could communicate well with foreigners guests with English as an international language about the information of hotel, status of the room, and the other complaint to create good relationship with the guests. Like the guests complain there is no towel in my room here, and automatically call the laundry department, and the laundry department receive it. And then if they are not having a good communication in English, so I think that this is so difficult for them to serve the guests well. Yeah, like this. Yeah. Okay, and then the implication of EIL hotel student, the implication is for students study look by they understand about the symbol, caution, notice, warning in all around hotel area, because the adjective of hotel little bit different with the culture of this country. For example, the word president room is not only for president but have specific meaning with the highest rank and most complete facilities in the hotel. That was we call the standard of the hotel term. Conclusion: the implementation of the TFGL for hotel students is there ready to face some problem in communication. Yeah, they could communicate well with foreigners, guests with English as an international language about the information of hotel, status of the room, and the other complaint to create good relationship with the guests. And the implication of EIL for student study look by the understand about the symbol, caution, notice, warning in all around hotel area, because the adjective of the hotel little bit different. So like president room that I said before, yeah. And the role of teacher here as a mediator to deliver the EIL well to students by choose suitable curriculum, nice media, and more practice through conversation in English with the student in the classroom during lesson or outside the class. Or maybe here teacher should use some movie, Japanese movie or Chinese movie on movie except English or American, to use the dialogue, to use the accent like that. I think this is a very very efficient. Okay. Thank you so much for the attention. Thank you friend, thank you Bu Happy, thank you at all, and have a nice fasting and happy Eid. Yeah, minal aidin wal faidin, taqabbalallahu minna wa minkum. And all of my presentation, I do apologize if I have mistake. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.